Aloha nui kako, Velina mai e, White Shadow Spiritual Advising. Hello everyone and welcome to White Shadow Spiritual Advising. My name is BriaBogatin and today I'm going to be doing an energy read for each zodiac sign in regards to Saturn moving from Aquarius to Pisces. So currently the day I'm recording this is March 7th and the transition's happening today. So this is going to be a cycle that takes place for the next 2.5, 3 years, something like that. So it is impactful. We all know the planet Saturn is very important itself. So what does each sign need to be made aware of? What's going on with each sign in regards to the Saturn moving into Pisces from Aquarius, and what is it going to do for each sign? Okay, so firstly, we're going to begin on Aries. So welcome Aries, and I already have your cards pulled. The overall thing that I'm seeing with this Aries is actually a lot of emotional contentment manifesting from Saturn being in Pisces for Aries. And I do think that Saturn in Pisces is going to be favorable for Aries, especially in the area of emotions, emotional connections, emotional attachments, and family lineages, the home life, home dynamics, family dynamics, children even. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying that is because Aries is receiving the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So the King of Cups is a card of reaching some sort of emotional mastery. And what I mean by that is having the full reign over your emotional state. So probably Saturn in Aquarius for Aries people was it was an emotional shakeup, because you needed to move into a more elevated space within your emotional capacity. And now Saturn in Pisces is going to allow Aries people to settle into the new, more elevated emotional capacity they have attained through the recent trials, tribulations, and challenges of the past 2.5 to 3 years. So King of Cups is also very creative. It's very entertaining. It's emotionally satisfied, and it's feeling very good within the space that you are in emotionally and spiritually as well. Ultimately, this is a card of emotional maturity. Okay, so the Ten of Cups is also coming out. The Ten of Cups is going to be a card of great security. Just feeling very good, very safe, very secure, very grounded within your life circumstances. I will say that for Aries people watching this, what you're doing now, you're probably going to be acting from that space throughout the next up to 3 years. And there's a lot of evolution that's going to take place over the next 3 years in regards to the things you already have in motion. So with the Ten of Cups being the number 10, it is cycles closing out, creating new family, relationship, intimate dynamics, marriage dynamics, again, home dynamics, dynamics with children. As you can see in this card, there is a family being depicted here. And they're also in celebration. So I do feel like Aries, there's going to be a lot of announcements and celebrations over the next 3 years for you guys. Ultimately, the Ten of Cups and King of Cups is highly positive. And so I would say that Saturn in Pisces is going to allow you all to reap emotional rewards and be in a really good spot emotionally. Of course, there's the natural ups and downs. However, even in those spaces, you will still have that feeling of attainment and like you're okay, you're good. And maybe that's what this whole experience was all about for you, to have that balance, to find that more neutral space within your emotional capacity. Now, the last card you are receiving, Aries, is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the number 5. Okay, so with that, I would say transitions within the way you're going about certain things. I would probably say your career for Aries That's what I'm feeling. So the way that you're going about your career is going to drastically shift and change and transform over the next 3 years with Saturn and Pisces. And actually, Aries, you're being called to make the action and the intention that you have towards your career to be more spiritual, to be more spiritually inclined, spiritually aligned, and spiritually authentic and truthful is how I want to put that. The Hierophant is also the card and my card of breaking through the glass ceiling. You are absolutely breaking through something within this Saturn and Pisces season. This is going to be a time of liberation for you, I feel like, within your career space, because you're going to finally be able to discover that alignment between the spiritual and the material. The Hierophant, this also is a card of spiritual structures. Okay, so with this being cards of more so emotion, the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups, let's see this more so as emotion, emotional connections, emotional attachments, emotional dynamics. Now that you're grounding yourself out in that, Aries, you're going to be called to direct your energy more so towards the spiritual structure of your life and creating a better spiritual structure for yourself, having better spiritual modalities. You know, maybe for the longest time you said the Our Father prayer 3 times a day and that's just what you did. Well, now you're going to be transitioning out of that and stepping into a different way of praying, a different prayer to say, a different prayer modality, if that makes sense. So again, the Hierophant, spiritual structures, discovering new spiritual structures, and having new ways to go about your spirituality. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to Taurus. Aloha, Taurus. Let's see, I have 2 cards right now, and I'm going to get a third. All right. So for Taurus people or people with Taurus placements in their chart, this is what I have to say to you. You are being rebirthed from the heart space. You're being reborn from your heart space. Okay? And it's very important for you to keep this in mind, because the lessons you have been receiving over the past couple of years have been one of integration and alchemy. And what I mean by that is the ability to move in and out of emotions, not attach or detach, but to move through things and flow. You guys, in Saturn being in Pisces for Taurus people is going to allow you to discover an emotional, spiritual flow, especially within your reactions, I feel the need to say, that you are going to be in for a very long time. You're discovering that sweet spot within yourself is what I want to say with these cards. The first card you are receiving is Temperance. This is that card of alchemy. This is a card of like opposites attract. The ability to move in and out of things, not be here or be over here, but to find that flow within your life. You know, we as humans, we like to label everything. But what if we didn't label happiness and sadness, or at least didn't label it to such the extreme that our society does? What if it's that we're just meant to experience this spectrum of emotions, and instead of attaching ourselves to one emotion or the other, instead of constantly striving to be happy and to feel joyful even though we might not feel that way, what if we are just meant to move in and out of the emotions and allow it to just be what it is, allow it to just exist, to feel happiness when it's time to feel happiness. And then, you know, you might feel happy at 10 a.m. and then 3:30 comes along and something happens and then you feel angry. So we move from happiness and we find our way to anger, and then we find our way to bliss, and then we find our way to liberation, and it's just a flow. Taurus people, you are finding that flow within this Saturn and Pisces time period, or you will be very much in it already, and the Saturn and Pisces is going to bring about that really great feeling within yourself because you have achieved that. Now, the Temperance card is one of harmony, contentment, satisfaction. It is the balance between, see how the angel has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the earth? That's going to represent the balance between the spiritual and the material. And understand that during the next 3 years, Taurus, when it comes to your career and financial situations, you will need to find that balance between the rational and irrational, the spiritual and the material, in order to know how to act, what to do about it, etc. Now, you're also receiving the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is an offering. Okay, it's an offering of love, actually. So Taurus, and I have been seeing this from other astrologers, I feel that Saturn and Pisces is going to be a lot of you stepping into your own and stepping into your time. You may have felt it was the time for others. Now it's about to be the time for you, and you're really going to step into this beautiful space within your authenticity. And it's going to be a wave. It's a wave of authenticity that you will be riding for quite some time. And you did a lot of work to get there. So kudos to you, because you have earned this. Now, the Knight of Cups is also love language, self-love, romance, sensuality, creativity, intimacy, very close, deep connections. These things are on the up and up. Okay, so your closest connections are being deepened during this time, and they will reach levels that you might not have even thought you'd be able to reach with anyone, let alone the people that you have in your life presently. The Knight of Cups, this is things just becoming easier. It's a better flow for things. Now, you're also receiving the Strength card. This is forgiveness, this is boundaries, and this is finding a very liberating, empathetic, and just true to you way to speak your truth. So the way that you're speaking your truth is going to be a lot more in alignment with yourself, if that makes sense. That's what I'm feeling from that. The Strength card is working through boundaries and also self-forgiveness. So I think Saturn and Pisces is going to be a time period of Taurus receiving a lot of apologies and a lot of rectifying, and even giving out a lot of apologies if that's what it calls for. So I think Saturn and Pisces for Taurus is going to be a sigh of relief. I think it's going to give you guys a sigh of relief. And I think it's because Taurus can go well with the energetic of things, the feeling of things. And I think Saturn and Pisces is going to bring a solid, more organized, more structured way of feeling things for the collective, and Taurus is going to fall right in alignment with that. I think I'm going to leave that there for you, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed. All right, Gemini. These cards are flying out for Gemini. Welcome to your Saturn and Pisces reading. Okay, you guys, all Pentacle cards. Wow. And yeah, all Pentacle cards for Gemini. Those cards really came flying out. Okay, Saturn and Pisces is going to be such an immense time of inspiration for Gemini, and this is going to be the time period that Geminis are in their purpose. They are living out what it is they're meant to do. Their skill sets are being seen. They're making money from their skills, working a lot with your hands, and working a lot with the community, being around people, your message being well received. There's a lot of energy going on here for Gemini. The first card, Gemini, is the Page of Pentacles. This is a discovery, okay? So the Page of Pentacles is saying that during this Saturn and Pisces season, Gemini, you're going to be fully actualizing the course of action in regards to your purpose. Maybe up until now, you've really been able to sense it. You've been in trial and error. You have been taking movement forward, but it hasn't amounted as high as you thought it would amount. Maybe you thought you'd be making more money by now. Maybe you thought you'd be higher up in your career by now. Saturn and Pisces, that is going to happen for you, and it's going to come through some form of inspiration with the Page of Pentacles. That can be a card of learning something new, expanding on a skill set, expanding your clientele, opening a business. It can be going back to school, taking a workshop, taking a seminar, reading a book, learning all you need to know about a subject so that you can act it out and make monetary gain from it. That's the Page of Pentacles. Now, then you're receiving the Four of Pentacles. So you have all this stuff going on within your career. The Four of Pentacles, in regards to the career, I will say it's going to be letting you know that Saturn and Pisces, for Gemini people, you will be called to release what your career has been thus far. Very interesting. Okay, so you went through a time period within your career, and that time period is now over. And now it's time to transition to a more advanced way of doing your career. And it's time to release what expectations you had about your career and what you amounted your career to be within your mind, what you thought it was going to be and how it was going to look and all of that. I want to say you achieved everything you could within that mindset, and now you need a new mindset because you're going to be expanding. This is crazy energy of expansion right here within the career and financial aspect of your life, Gemini. So Saturn and Pisces is going to do that for you. I just think it's going to really align the energy with that mystical enigma feeling and aesthetic and vibe that Geminis have. That's why I think it is. Otherwise, Four of Pentacles, this is absolutely going to be a time of letting go for Gemini people with Saturn and Pisces. You have to let it go or you will not be able to tread yourself forward. Keep that in mind. This is a time of closing out a very long cycle for Gemini people. A cycle that was very heavily focused on your physical circumstances, what's going on around you, and now you are releasing that. Then you are receiving the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, Rome wasn't built in a day with the Seven of Pentacles. I think you're really going to understand, Gemini, that this is a journey. The destination is not going to give you what you want. It's the journey that's going to give you what you want. And so be patient. Otherwise, the Seven of Pentacles is saying to you that you need to get more organized. And I think you need to release certain things within your career, Gemini. Geminis, within the next 3 years, drastic career changes. Okay, it's like you may have been a teacher for the past 10 years. You're about to become a lawyer or a police officer or something just completely different than what you're doing now. For others of you, you will still be in the area of what you're doing now, but completely elevated, completely different money flow, completely different inspirations, completely different co-workers and things like that. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, this is a card of having to hold patience, and it also is a card of having to get organized, and it's also a card of allowing yourself to receive help. Saturn and Pisces for Gemini people is going to really push you to realize you cannot do this alone. You are meant to work with others. Gemini people are great with groups of humans because Gemini people are ruled by Mercury, right? So because you're ruled by Mercury, you're meant to speak to others. You're meant to bring others together from your voice. So if you're not doing that over the next 3 years, you're going to not going to find success. You will only find success by using your voice, Gemini, and using your voice to bring something together. Lastly, you are receiving the Three of Pentacles. This is the card of the Soul Tribe. This is the card of using your voice to bring people together. This is community, teamwork, collaboration. For the next 3 years, the universe favors teamwork and a group effort. The Three of Pentacles is like consistent building, okay? So it's like you're consistently going up that ladder, Gemini. Again, you are on the path to success, but you have to give it time and you have to have commitment and responsibility and strong willpower. And so you might be confronted with that, or will be confronted with that within this Saturn and Pisces time period. And lastly, what I'll say about the Three of Pentacles, this is going to be a time period of really finding your soul tribe and really finding the people that will reciprocate you that you will be able to reciprocate in the way that you want to reciprocate, and you will truly have the people around you that will help you to build what you're trying to build, and you will help them to build what they are trying to build. Aloha Cancer, welcome to your Saturn and Pisces tarot forecast. I already have your cards pulled, and I think I'm just going to break them down one by one for you. And the first card you are receiving is the World. Okay, so Cancer, Saturn and Pisces actually will probably feel really great for you, because Saturn being a planet of structure, organization, it can very much focus on the material existence and how we operate, our physical circumstances, the divine masculine. That energy is now being put in the energy of Pisces, which is very empathetic and spiritual, sensitive, emotional. Cancer, you are a water sign. So I would say that since structure and organization is already meant to become more spiritual, more in tune energetically, you will greatly benefit from that, Cancer, because Cancer people are very sensitive. It's the emotional aspect with the Cancer signs. So the World card is a life promotion. It's a leveling up of some sorts. This is saying to you that Saturn moving into Pisces is closing a whole chapter, not even a whole chapter, a whole book of your life. And I would say for you, Cancer, that you need to be very vigilant towards keeping that book closed. So we go through natural cycles, rhythms, and phases within our lives, and we have to take heed to when those cycles and phases are coming to a close, or when the universe is saying that we need to close it ourselves. And so if we know that something is meant to end, we have to be proactive in making that thing end. So keep that in mind, I would say, Cancer, within this Saturn and Pisces time period. The World card is also many doors opening up. So what you're going to find during this time period, Cancer, is that the old seeds that you planted going back even years ago are going to come back around to you during this time. There's certain energy you put out into the universe in the past that's now going to come back to you during this time, because when you originally tried to manifest that thing, or whatever the case may be, it just wasn't the right time period. So you're going to find a lot of things coming back around to you during the next 2 years or so with Saturn in Pisces. Then you are receiving the Hierophant. The Hierophant is going to highlight spiritual structures. The Hierophant is like the card of Saturn in Pisces, and the reason for that is because the Hierophant brings forth the idea of spiritual organization, spiritual structures, spiritual foundations, spiritual action, and that's all Saturn in Pisces. The Hierophant is the number 5. So this is going to say to you that there is transitionings now. There's going to be transitionings taking place within how you go about your spiritual path, your healing, your intuition, how you act on your intuition. This is a time period, Cancer, where you're going to be shifting from one spiritual modality and or belief to another, or greatly expanding on what it is you've already done within the spiritual aspects of your journey. Irregardless, what you've been doing spiritually on the spiritual levels, Cancer, is completely changing. The last card you are receiving, Cancer, is the Knight of Wands. This is a card of action, movement forward, sudden information. I feel the Knight of Wands is saying to you that this is going to be a time of intense passion, and you don't need to make money off of all of your passions, Cancer. Everything that you have interest in don't need to make money. And I think that this Saturn and Pisces for Cancer people is going to force you to focus more so on what it is you enjoy, what it is that uplifts your life's energy, your life vitality, and what it is that feels desirable to you, rather than, well, I just need to make money, or I need to do this because I need to support this person, or I need to do this in order to get this. This is going to be a time period where you are able to find more so that balance. However, also to realize that if you take action upon your passions, if you do things that fulfill you and make your soul feel good, make you feel at healing, the money and the natural money flow and flow of abundance will work its way into your life. You can make money off your passions, but should that be your specific focus? Or should it just be, I'm doing what I love to do? All right, Leo. Okay, Leo. Let's see. You are getting... Oh, I need one more card for my Leos. All right. Leo, you are getting 4 cards. Okay. Immediately with these cards, Leo, transitions within friend groups, transitions within family, friend groups and family, those you associate with, but not just like co-workers or acquaintances or business partners, those you live with and those you hang out with that you like to spend your time with. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the first card that came out, which is the 4 of Pentacles. This is having to let go. Okay, this is going to highlight in which ways you limit yourself, you hinder yourself, and you keep yourself from letting go of the things that you know you need to let go of. In the depiction of this card, this person has 2 pentacles under his feet, 1 in his hand, and 1 on his head, and he cannot move. He's stuck because he's holding on so tightly to these pentacles. He also can't take in any more pentacles or any more anything else because he's holding on so tightly to these pentacles. Okay, so again, this is going to say to you that this is a very important time period of letting go of the things that hinder you, have plateaued your progress, and that will keep you complacent. So then you are receiving, Leo, the 3 of Cups. This is a card of women, sisterhood, pregnancy, marriages, announcements, graduation, celebrations. Okay? And then the Tower comes out, followed by the 10 of Pentacles. So the Tower is sandwiched in between the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. So what is this going to say here? What this is going to say is, in regards to your foundations, when it comes to friends and family or those you live with, it's going to be completely shattered. Okay? So, Tower, destruction for creation. It clears the pathway so that you may rebuild once again in a much more authentic, more genuine, more advanced way. The Tower is pretty much saying to you, the foundation in which your house is built on is faulty for whatever reason. I would say it's faulty because of this, because you're holding on to things from your past and you've been acting on those things that you've been holding on to, and because of that, the trauma responses or just the responses from the things you experienced in the past have created a foundation for you that is not meant to be permanent. It was semi-permanent. And really, I think what this is saying, Leo, is that you have built a foundation for yourself that was built off of survival instinct and doing what it is you need to do in order to feel okay, in order to feel your best, rather than building your foundation on what it is that would bring you the most evolution and the most healing. So now this foundation needs to be eradicated so that you can make a foundation that is built on your own healing and your own personal evolution. Now, the 3 of Cups can still say lots of announcements, pregnancies, marriages, family reunions even. That's still there. 10 of Pentacles can very much talk about a lot going on within the family, a lot of positive things, but also a lot of releasing. Change needs to happen within the dynamics, and then also changes within the friend groups and the friend dynamics. So these 2 areas are going to be of major focus to you, Leo, probably because Leo is from the heart space. Leo is represented by the heart chakra. So if you wear your heart on your sleeve and things like that, it's pretty much saying to you that right now, that heart space is being rebirthed, and what you've been exuding from, you can no longer exude from in regards to your friends and your family. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of releasing, a lot of transmuting, transcendence that's going to be taking place for Leo. The Ten of Pentacles, it's very secure. It feels stable. It's successful. But it's saying that the ingraining of the family dynamics needs to be completely changed, especially with that Tower card coming out. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave that there for Leo. Leo, I would even say, whenever you listen to this, go get a reading from somebody, because there's a lot here, but this is what you'll be absolutely working through over the next 2 to 3 years. Ooh. All right, Virgo. Virgo, these cards are coming out really fast. Very sharp. Like whoever is watching this, spirit, the universe, the creator, whoever it is you want to call it, your guardians have been trying to convey this message to you. They've been trying to help you to see what the fuck, excuse me. They've been trying to help you to see what has been going on in your life, but something has been cloudy for you. So I feel like Spirit has been knocking at your door, Virgo, and you have not let them in entirely because of distractions, and they've been trying to reach you to say this message. Firstly, you are receiving the Temperance card. Okay, so Temperance is going to be all about alchemy and the ability to flow through things rather than be rigid or here nor there, one way or the other, my way or the highway. You've definitely come to the realization, Virgo, that being my way or the highway, or being too rigid energetically or really in any which way, is not serving to you. So really you've been getting that lesson of alchemy of how can I flow through these things like a river going down a mountain rather than trying to climb the mountain or go around the mountain. The Temperance card is saying you will reach that space, or you have reached that space. And that space you will be acting from for quite some time. So I do feel like for Virgos, you've hit a spiritual milestone because you have been educated on the law of alchemy. Okay, so Temperance is also going to be opposites attract. It's going to be the balance. See, the angel has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on earth. The balance between the material and the spiritual, the rational and irrational. And this is going to say to you that you have to find the gray area. And for over the next 3 years or so, Virgo, it'll be very important for you to discover the gray area and neutral space of things, because that's where you're going to find the solutions. Otherwise, the Temperance card is content. It's karmic rewards, karmic mercy, karmic balance. It's the Archangel Zadkiel, I feel the need to say to whoever's listening to this. And this is pretty much saying to you that you are discovering that harmony, and more harmony will be gifted to you. However, you will have to apply the lesson of alchemy. Okay, so then you are receiving the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of the soul tribe, teamwork, collaboration. The universe favors a group effort. This is a card of the building blocks to success. You are moving up the success ladder, Virgo. Although you might not think that, it seems that way. The reason why it might not seem that way is because you're getting the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is going to say to you that you have been taking part in things that are not necessarily meant for you. They're semi-permanent, and they're also not what you thought it would be. I would say that you probably were experiencing that for a little bit, maybe up until this Saturn transition. The Seven of Cups is too many options, too many different ways to go about things, too many different avenues, pathways, too many different ideas, and this can be a card of like illusions. Some of the things you're being offered are fraudulent, and the way that you're going to steer clear of that is by connecting and working with the soul tribe. Group solutions are the solutions for this Saturn season, the Saturn and Pisces season for Virgo people. The Three of Pentacles is steady success. So also don't get ahead of yourself, Virgo. Don't bite off more than you can chew. You're doing what you should be doing, but I think there's extraness that has been piled on because maybe it's more slow moving than you thought it would be. Maybe you're not making as much money just yet. You're still at the beginning stages, and this Saturn and Pisces season is very much going to actualize, expand, and elevate what it is that you've been trying to implement. However, you need to find the alchemy, the moving in and out of things, and you also need to work on this Seven of Cups, which is really a process of elimination through identifying who it is you want to be and why. So with the Seven of Cups, sometimes this can represent like an identity crisis. I don't know what to choose because I don't know exactly who I am or who I want to be entirely. So this is what I would encourage you to do, Virgo. Throughout this Saturn and Pisces season, always come back to reminder modalities of who it is you are and why. Write it down. Literally just asking yourself, who do you perceive yourself to be? I perceive myself to be spiritually strong. I perceive myself to be materially successful. I perceive myself to be empathetic. What do you want to be more of? I want to be more organized. I want to be more vocal. I want to be more entrepreneurial. When it comes to your career, I want to be a doctor. I want to even be a homeowner. I want to be a stockbroker, whatever the case may be. Come back to reminding yourself of what it is you're selecting, because once you forget, you get too up in this. And this is actually very Pisces energy, and Virgo, your opposition is Pisces. It's like daydreaming. It's like things are going too slow, so I'm just going to daydream and question about these other things that maybe would give me instant satisfaction, but wouldn't be for the long haul. So be aware of that for this Saturn and Pisces season, Virgo. Some things will give you that instant satisfaction, but you need the things that are going to give you this. All right, Libra. What does Saturn and Pisces hold for Libras? Okay. So, Libra. This is actually what I feel from this. The actions that you've been taking over the past 4 years, 5 years or so were a lot more impactful than you originally realized, and you're about to see the manifestation of that. You're about to see the full fruition of actions that you took over the past 4 to 5 years. That's actually really what I feel from this. Things are going to pick up pace within your life as a whole, but when it comes to your career, I think it's going to be very structured and very steady. The reason why I'm saying that is because you're receiving the Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot. Now, the Chariot gives that energy of full speed ahead, but the Chariot is more so of an overall feeling, and also taps into things like public recognition, your message being received well, spiritual advancement like no other. It's like heightening of the consciousness in major ways. Can even be a card of like astral traveling, lucid dreaming, and things like that. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles, he's in motion, but he's taking his time. And the Suit of Pentacles is within home life, family, career, finances. It's not that things are going to be dreadful within that space. It's that you're going to decide what it is that you need to do, and you're going to have steps to do it. Now, the Knight of Pentacles can also say, do not procrastinate. If you do procrastinate, this is going to come for you, and your guardians are going to drag you. That's literally what I feel from this. Okay, you don't want to get pulled out of that relationship kicking and screaming. You want to be like, okay, this is what I need to do, and now I'm going to implement this action. I'm going to do this today. By next week, I'll have this done. I'm going to make this phone call, send this email. So there is a balance here, but at the same time, the Knight of Pentacles, he has something to offer. That's the thing. With the Knight of Pentacles, he's holding this pentacle here, and he knows he has something really fantastic to offer, and he's not just going to offer it to the wrong thing. So find the balance, Libra, of I'm going to keep my gold safe, and what it is I have to offer, I'm going to protect it, and being too complacent and too stagnant and procrastinating, because you are meant to share your gifts with others. Now, everyone obviously deserves it, but also you have to make sure you're sharing your gifts. Ultimately, the Saturn and Pisces season for Libra people is going to highlight career. And with the Knight of Pentacles coming out, that's highly positive. It's saying that you are going somewhere. It's just not the Knight of Wands where you're just like blasting forward. But also sometimes that can be a negative. Really anything can go one way or the other, right? But the Knight of Pentacles is steady. It's slow and steady wins the race. It understands that what I put my energy to next will be a part of my life for quite some time, so you want to keep that in mind. The Chariot card is just advancement. It's recognition, it's spiritual liberation, spiritual advancement. It's a number 7, highly auspicious. Very highly auspicious energy. And I will say the Saturn and Pisces season for Libra people, a lot of surprises. A lot of surprises in store, pleasant surprises, spiritually exciting things like deja vu moments that just like stand out to you in a way that other deja vu moments have not. Prophetic dreams, dreaming about the future, psychicness. Like, this is very powerful and also very exciting. It's very powerfully spiritually, and it's also very spiritually exciting. It's like you are going for a ride within the spiritual, unknown, metaphysical, occult aspect of this life and of this world, the hidden, the mysterious. You are definitely going for a ride within that area. Sandwiched right in between the Knight of Pentacles and a Chariot is the Two of Cups. So interesting, relationships are going to be so important for Libra people this Saturn and Pisces season. Now, I'll say this, with the Knight of Pentacles coming out, that can be someone that's slow to commit. With the Chariot card coming out with the Two of Cups, that can be overly compromising or settling for less. So make sure you're aware of that, Libra. I feel the need to say you might have to uplift those around you through your expression, because a lot of people look to you and admire you. Lift them up. Lift people up in which way they love you is what I feel the need to say. And that's how you'll get that reciprocation that you want and that commitment that you want. The Two of Cups is soulmate relationships. The Two of Cups is divine partnerships. It's saying to you that the people in your life during this Saturn and Pisces season are absolutely meant to be in your life. It's destined. It's karmically destined. It's karmically inclined. There's a seraphim angel above this couple right here, and that is saying it's like the green light from the creator. Like, yes, this is meant to be. Yes, you're meant to be with this person. Yes, you're meant to do this. Yes, you're meant to experience this. And yeah, I think I'll leave that there for Libra. All right, Scorpio. What has to come out today for Scorpio? Okay. I'll first start off like this, Scorpio. This is absolutely going to be a time of releasing emotional chains and spiritual attachments that have been following you for quite some time, that have been holding you down. Scorpio people, keep in mind, being born with the sun sign Scorpio or a lot of Scorpio in your birth chart, you will constantly have to transmute things. Scorpio is a sign of death and in the zodiac, and what that means is you'll be constantly given situations that you have to put to the next level. So the creator says, here's this situation, now bring it up here. This Saturn and Pisces season will be no different. I actually think that's going to be amplified. However, you are going to find a lot of inner power and liberation through this. It's like you're owning that energy. That's what I think Scorpios really need to do during this Saturn and Pisces season. Own your energy. Own your journey. Own who you are. Because people see you in a way and you want to go with, I think, what I feel the need to say is you should go with that. They want to see you in that way. Go with that and show them why you are that way. What is the truth? Express the truth and express it through transmutation is actually what I'm getting from this. Now, firstly, Scorpio, you're getting the Queen of Cups. So you're coming out in your own reading. Queen of Cups is also known as the Queen of Water. So this is saying that you're really going to be finding a very authentic space within yourself during this Saturn and Pisces season. It's saying your emotional state is going to be very rewarding. Your spiritual capacity is going to be very rewarding. And Saturn and Pisces, I would say, is going to be a benefit to Scorpio because Saturn, the planet of the father, divine masculine, structure, organization, law, regulation, is going to be placed in Pisces, which is water, empathy, sensitivity, creativity. So that will help the water signs because the water signs are naturally that way. And now the structure, rules, regulations, and all of that are going to become more spiritually inclined. So that will work greatly for Scorpio people or water sign people. Now, right after that, Scorpio, you have the Devil. The Devil card is going to represent that which chains you, that which keeps you stuck, keeps you limited, makes you feel hindered, makes you feel like you can't get out of something. I feel very strongly there was an emotional anchor thrown. Like at some point along your journey, Scorpio, you threw an emotional anchor and you've been anchored in that space for a very long time, and you're about to free yourself from that and maybe even come to full awareness and illumination and realization of what that spiritual anchor even is at all. I have a feeling some of you aren't even aware of it yet, because look how the Queen of Cups, she's focused on her cup. She's not paying attention to this devil shit. But the devil, it's us. It is like the inner demons. It is like our personal demons, you know, the things that keep us in spaces we don't want to be in. So for those of you that attract the same person, go through the same argument, go through the same tedious cycle, that is about to end because you're about to pick up your emotional anchor. I feel that really strongly. The Devil, protect yourself spiritually too. I'm going to put that out there. You are going to start to find during the Saturn and Pisces, because I have a feeling everyone's going to get a lot more spiritual with the Saturn and Pisces. Scorpio people are naturally spiritual. Be aware of that. Not everyone is meant to experience your personal spirituality. Then you are receiving the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, in my opinion, for me, can go one of two ways. The King of Wands can be leadership, inner power, lead by example. Go for it. Yes. Action, action, action. Commanding energy. That's why I feel very strongly from this. There's a big difference between demanding and commanding. I command respect. I don't demand respect. I don't say you need to respect me. I carry myself in a way where I'm naturally respected. Commanding something rather than demanding with the King of Wands. The other side of the King of Wands can be narcissistic. It can be like very charming and they rope you up and trick you because, you know, they just look so good and they feel so good and you like being around them and they charm you. And then you're like, oh my God, you're a crazy person. That's what the King of Wands can be as well. So you want to be aware of both that. I'm going to say you want to be aware of that within yourself and other people because you're attracting something. You've been consistently attracting something. The Devil is showing that you've been consistently You've been consistently attracting something or contracting. So that's interesting. I feel like it's interesting I said that because that's making me think this is like some soul contract shit and it happened in other past lives. I don't know who is watching this. go get a reading from somebody or come to me, because this is interesting energy. I feel like for Scorpios, you're about to really get a whole past life regression over the next 2 years. That's honestly what I feel from this. It's very interesting energy. You got a fourth card. I was only pulling 3 for people, but Scorpio got a fourth, and it's the 8 of Pentacles. So you're going to be very focused in your career. I would say lead by example and follow your heart. When it comes to your career, Scorpio, follow your heart. You will be organized, or you need to get organized. The 8 of Pentacles is being well in your work, expanding on a skill set, your skill set being seen. This can say, like, if you're trying to start a new business venture, open a business, become your own boss, if you're trying to be self-employed, that's all going to go well for you. Your career and your finances are on the up and up with this Saturn and Pisces season, and very positive energy for Scorpio around the career and finances. All right, Sagittarius, what is your message for this Saturn and Pisces season? Okay, you guys are getting 4 cards too. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, that was such a terrible reaction. Okay, Sagittarius, what I don't understand about Sagittarius is why you guys constantly put yourselves in situations you know you shouldn't be in. It's like curiosity killed the cat, and satisfaction did not bring it back to life. You guys are losing your life force energy by consistently backtracking yourself. I feel like Sagittarius have an issue with backtracking themselves, because the first part of this reading started out so positive. The Lovers and the 10 of Cups is coming out. The Lovers is pretty much saying to you, a lot of very important decisions are going to be made over the next couple of years, and not just like normal everyday decisions. You're going to be making decisions like, am I moving to a new city? Am I starting a business? Am I buying a house? Am I getting married? Am I deciding to have a child? Am I deciding to travel the world? You're going to be making major milestone, life-changing decisions that are going to change the energy and the aesthetic and the theme of your journey. That's what the Lovers is going to say to you. The Lovers is a card of health, soulmates, travel, and decisions. So there's going to be a time where the people around you are going to be a major focus for you, because you need to stop putting yourself around people that you know you should not be around. Stop having friends just to have friends, Sagittarius. That's what I'm really getting from this. And I think you're going to be a lot closer with your family, and family values in regards to children and parenting are very much going to be coming up for you, and values when it comes to marriage as well. So the 10 of Cups, this is very positive when it comes to family and the people that you live with. This is very secured, satisfied. The money flow is good with you and the people that you live with. However, it is a number 10. So that's going to say to you that the way that your family life has been going, your home life, your emotional dynamics, your relationship dynamics, the way they've been going is now being released. The good, the bad, and the in-between. And you're going to be leveling up within that area of your life. Your relationships will be deepening. They will be lifted to a new level of experience because you are maturing. Life is going on. And now it's the time for new ways of relating, new ways of being around your family. You know, you might become very close with a certain cousin that you've never been close with, or you might start talking to your grandmother more, you might start talking to her less, wherever the case may be, but that's the energy here. Okay, ultimately very positive. And Sagittarius will probably be traveling a lot during this Saturn and Pisces season, which I know Sagittarius loves travel. But then you get these 2 cards. Why? Okay, the 7 of Swords, a lot of times is self-sabotage. Can be a card of energy vampirism. Can be a card of you're just doing the most, you know, smoking too much, drinking too much, overindulging, obsessive thoughts, being too harsh with your words. Can be someone not having the best intentions to you. Plans need revision. with the Lover's card, I can see that, you know, you need to make decisions and conclusions that are very life-changing and life-altering, and you need to make them because this is happening. So the Saturn in Pisces is absolutely going to expose, Sagittarius, what is really going on with the energy around you, within your workplace, within your friend groups. I feel like the family life is good for a Sagittarius and Saturn and Pisces. I think the family is going to be the backbone and the support system and what it is that you really go to. Like, I'm not getting a like blood isn't always family, you know, quote here. I'm getting like you're really going to be strong in your family values, and that's going to be very, very important for you, or those that you consider family. But everyone else, expect some shakeup because plans need revision. I would honestly say, Sagittarius, the like life plans you want to do, the business plans you want to do, you're gonna have to do them alone. You're gonna have to do them alone over these next 3 years. You're not getting the Three of Pentacles or anything about groups or working with others. This is saying to you that when you try and work with others, shit goes haywire. And so you need to take yourself and become your own leader, become your own boss, do your own thing, because only you can know that you will do what you say you will do, and other people, you can't depend on them in that way. That's really what I'm getting from this. Now, the Five of Swords, this is transitions within communication, within friend groups. It's transitions within the intellect, the mind, the mindset. You have certain perceptions that really are not working and they're actually hindering you. And again, this combination, if you walk in a room and get anxiety, please leave. If you feel like there's a red flag, please heed it. That's what this is saying to you. You see them, but I think it's like they get curious. You guys get curious or something like that. And you're like, I just want to see like what would happen. Instead of heeding this warning, I want to see what the warning's all about. That's literally what I get from this. But the Five of Swords, you know, this is a card pretty much saying to you, people are going to be bumping heads, clash of moral value belief system. I really think this is happening within the friend group. Five of Swords is transitions within the friend group. So there's a lot going on here for Sagittarius and Saturn and Pisces. Ultimately, I think that you're going to find, Sagittarius, that you are your greatest friend. You are your greatest lover. You are your greatest confidant. You are everything to you. So make sure you act like it. That's what I get from this. All right, aloha Capricorn. Let's see, what is this Saturn and Pisces season going to do for Capricorn? What is it that you need to be made aware of? And the tides are absolutely changing for Capricorn people. This is actually going to be so healing for you because Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is now moving into Pisces, which is healing, which is like energy work, intuition, spiritual navigation. So, you know, Capricorns are earth, Pisces is water, kind of opposite elements right there, very material and then spiritual. However, if you're able to surrender, Capricorn, you're going to reach a place within yourself that I don't think you've ever thought of at all, or thought that you would actually reach. Like, I feel like Saturn and Pisces for Capricorn people, you're being forged into a peaceful journey and you're building peace is what I feel from this. Okay, so the first card you are receiving, Capricorn, is the Magician. Now, the Magician is a card of manifestation. It's working with the law of attraction, and it's being in alignment with all the different aspects of your life. The Magician is also going to represent what goes around comes around. It's energetically auspicious. It just highlights our passions, our drive, our desire. It's pretty much saying to you that you're really going to be in your own lane. You're really going to be feeling yourself. Like, when it comes to your reputation, what you give off to others, what you're doing with your life is going to feel really, really good. I think it's the emotional, spiritual part that's going to be of confrontation for you. However, that's what's going to bring you to such immense peace. Otherwise, I feel like with the Magician card, that Capricorns are going to be just so in their energy, so in their vibe. You will be well received during this time. This is a card of practical magic, and I feel like Capricorns are really going to be tapping into that practical magic that they hold within themselves. So this is fantastic when it comes to your reputation, is really what I'm feeling from this. But you're also receiving the Five of Cups. This is some sort of emotional turmoil. It absolutely represents transitions within your emotional state. It does represent something has gone wrong or plans need revision. Something needs to be redone. However, this is also crying over spilt milk. So I just kind of feel like certain things, what's going to be happening for Capricorn people, Saturn and Pisces is going to be triggering certain things within you emotionally that you thought you healed, yet you only stepped away from it, is what I'm feeling from this. So a lot of times, you know, let's say for example, our boyfriend cheats on us and we break up with him and whatever. Well, what a lot of times ends up happening is we just let time go by. We're like, okay, time heals all wounds, so I'm just going to allow time to pass and try and get myself together, try to forge forward. And what does that do? You just move away from it. So the problem's still here. You're just over here. You're just at a distance from it. And then one day something happens and you're triggered and you're right back in that moment when you found out your boyfriend was cheating on you. And you're right back to that reaction that you had when that happened. And then you go, I thought I healed this. Why the hell is this still here? It's because when something challenging or traumatic happens, we have to step into it. If we don't step into it and integrate and formulate alchemy, then we will not heal. We will just, again, simply move away from it and then get triggered in the future. Feel it now or feel it later, Capricorn. That's absolutely what I'm getting from this energy. And then you are receiving the the Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10. So this is going to say a lot of cycles closing out for you. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of navigation. I want to say your navigation system is shifting and changing, and the way it used to be is being released during this time, whatever that means, internally, externally, your moral compass maybe even. The Wheel of Fortune is highly auspicious. It's the winds of change, and it is a favorable wind. However, I think you really will have to heed this guidance here in order to fully embrace the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. Both of these cards have so much potential, but in order to live within the fullest extent of that potential, you have to handle this. I think lastly, I'll say before I end this, the Wheel of Fortune, it's a twist of fate. It's destiny. Destiny knocking at your door. A smack in the face from destiny. Can even be miracles. Like Saturn and Pisces for Capricorn people is going to be sudden and exciting and adventurous. And oh my God, I never thought like that. Or wow, I finally got that opportunity. Very positive. But again, you will have to deal with this. All right, Aquarius. Well, all of these cards came out at the same exact time. Okay, so what am I seeing from this? All right, I'm just going to break it down one by one because the first card came out with a whammy, and it's a Judgment card. Actually, Aquarius is the first Zodiac sign to get the Judgment card for this Saturn and Pisces season, which I'm quite surprised. So, Aquarius people, this is going to be a time where you are really closing out a lengthy karmic cycle. Like if Aquarius, if you see an astrology video and they say, oh, this Saturn and Pisces, we're closing out a 5-year cycle, you're closing out a 10-year cycle. If they say you're closing out a 4-year cycle, you're closing out an 8-year cycle. That's what I'm getting from this. You've been on the karmic merry-go-round for way too long, Aquarius, and you're about to fully break yourself free from that. At the same time, Aquarius, this time period is going to be so compelling to you, but you do not need to be full speed ahead, and you will crash and burn if you do full speed ahead. So the Judgment card brings forth this strong feeling of destiny. again, it's very compelling. It's like, I know what I need to do, and I'm going to go and do it. And I feel so called to do this specific thing. Then after that, you're receiving the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles can be feelings of being burnt out, exhaustion, having to hold patience, be more organized. And it's pretty much saying to you, again, that if you go full speed ahead and you dive in head first, you're going to crash and burn. Because what it is that you feel so compelled to do, whatever it is that you identify your destiny to be through this karmic cycle, is going to be a part of your journey for a very long time. It's interesting. I just feel from Aquarius people that you guys have the tendency to take part in very lengthy karmic cycles. That's actually what I'm feeling from this. Like, let's say before we incarnate here, we decide upon some of our karmic cycles, right? Say, okay, so I'm a Gemini. So say I'm like, okay, I'm going to work through this karmic cycle for 3 years. That'll be good enough, da-da-da. And then we're like, okay, boom, let's go. Aquarius people would be like, no, I'm going to take 6 years to do that. And I'm going to need, you know, an extra 3 months so I can do this after that, so I can extend this. I actually feel that Aquarius people take part in more lengthy karmic cycles. So you are closing a lengthy karmic cycle, Aquarius, and opening up another lengthy karmic cycle. It's very interesting, but at the same time, the next karmic cycle you'll be opening, Aquarius, is absolutely based on your career, and you need to take your time with it. Slow and steady wins the race. Rome wasn't built in a day. You are creating something very valuable, and you need to keep in mind that if we are going to do something for a prolonged period of time, we're going to do it for a prolonged period of time, and success doesn't happen overnight. You know, if you're meant to do something for 2 months, you're going to get that success immediately, that instant satisfaction. But this right here, Aquarius, is about commitment, responsibility, willpower, and how are you willing to go the extra mile? Are you willing to go the distance for your purpose? Lastly, Aquarius, you are receiving the Strength card. This is all about forgiveness. Some of you, I feel the need to say this, some of you have a very specific goddess energy around you that is going to be calling your name during this time. That just came out of nowhere. I feel like this has a lot to do with this Judgment energy with the angel here blowing the trumpet. Yeah, there's a goddess energy around a lot of you. I don't know. I just feel that, okay? The Strength card does depict a goddess. However, I just feel the need to say to Aquarius people, there is a very strong goddess feminine energy. Like the universal mother is very close to Aquarius people during this time, because whatever it is that you're discovering about your purpose has something to do with the universal mother. It's coming from the universal mother. So that means it might have something to do with children, nurture and nourish, healing, energetic work, motherhood, things like that. Okay, so that's interesting. But with the Strength card, this is also going to be boundaries. You're going to be initiating new boundaries during this time, Aquarius, and it's because this Judgment card is coming out. So it's pretty much saying to you, the shifts and changes are going to be so great. It's going to impact, I want to say I don't know why, it's going to impact your personality. Okay, and your personality is going to be transforming, and therefore you will need new boundaries. This is all about also taming the inner chaos. It's finding that space of forgiveness within yourself, contentment, harmony, peacefulness within yourself, and allowing that to be what you lead with, and allowing that to be what you lead by example with as well. All right, Pisces, I just need, one more card for you guys, and that went flying, so please excuse me. All right, Pisces. So, Really? Oh, this is your time, Pisces. I just realized this is going to be Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is going to be in your like native sign or whatever it is you want to call it. So the energy of Saturn is going to be working in favor and in tandem with the energy of Pisces. Immediately, Pisces, you are receiving the Emperor. Now, when it comes to the higher arcana in tarot, there's 21 cards, 22 cards, 0 to 21. And so because of that, the higher arcana cards a lot of times will get assigned to zodiac signs. For example, the Emperor. The Emperor is Aries and it's also Capricorn. Okay, so right here we have the ram depiction, but the Emperor is the father of the tarot. Capricorn, the father. So what I'm trying to say is, Pisces, the energy of Saturn is very present in your reading because the energy of Saturn is found within the Emperor. So that's a very good sign. It's saying to you that this is what I feel is happening. Saturn represents structure, law, regulation, organization, the divine masculine, the father, the provider, the control, things like that. Anything under the divine masculine. That is moving into the energy of Pisces, which is highly intuitive, empathetic, sensitive, psychic even, prophetic even. It's different, it's out of the box, it's unique. So what's going to happen is structure, law, organization, regulation, divine masculine is going to become more spiritual, which will work greatly in favor for Pisces because you are already naturally more spiritual. So whatever you identify, laws, regulation, limitation, organization, all of that as the material existence, it's becoming more in alignment with your natural energy, Pisces. So use this time to your advantage because right after the Emperor, you got the Ace of Pentacles. This is saying to you, you need to use this energy to your advantage to build that business, start that new business venture, sell that product, sell that house, buy that house, build that house, advance your career, make drastic career changes. Whatever it is that you want to do within your career, Pisces, absolutely favored during this time, and you absolutely can make it happen over the next 2.5 years. So whatever business ideas you have, Pisces, start it now. Begin the implementation of your plans now. So the Emperor card is going to say to you that when it comes to your dreams, your aspirations, your ideas, they are based in reality, but they do need a better structure. They need more organization, and they need better, not just better planning, but more commitment to your plans. And then the Ace of Pentacles, this is going to be such a mundane, Pisces, you will be successful. Your time is coming when it comes to the material existence. You've done a lot of spiritual work, Pisces. You came here to do the spiritual work as Pisces people. And now you're going to be rewarded materially, and your material life completely advancing during this time. The Ace of Pentacles is a promotion. It's a completely new opening within your material existence. This is like home improvement, just improving everything. You might end up with a new car. You'll get a fantastic loan. You will buy land. All of this is such in favor right now for Pisces. Now, the last card you're receiving, which I think is just, it's a Five of Wands. It's just talking about something different than the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles. So you have the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles going on for this Saturn and Pisces season for Pisces people. And then you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is going to represent transitions within friend groups. Not everyone that you are currently friends with is meant to go to the next level, to the new beginning with you. And not all of them are meant to reap your blessings with you. Keep that in mind, Pisces. The number 5 is transitions. Again, transitions within friend groups. I would say, Pisces, the one thing to be aware of is you might want to keep more to yourself during this time. This isn't the time to give unwanted opinions, be overly vocal, overly opinionated. I would say this is a time to focus on your lane, focus on what you're building, focus on your home and what it is you're trying to attain, and whatever anyone else is doing, that's what they're doing, and that's it. The Five of Wands can be competition, nuisances, arguments. It's very petty, overly competitive people, especially with this Emperor card coming out. This can absolutely say to you that during this time period, as you're implementing these great plans, you will also face opposition in regards to these great plans. You will encounter people that will question you, that will make you question yourself. You have to understand that that is okay. When that happens, know that it's the Creator trying to get you to level yourself up in whichever way that may be. Now, I think lastly what I'll say about this with the Five of Wands, a lot of truths might come out during this time that shake things up. So you might find that you need to be a mediator, that people are calling you for advice. Make sure that you find the boundaries within that area, especially since a lot of you naturally just work from the energetic space. Ultimately, this energy is very positive, and I will say that finally for once, Pisces, money, law, regulation, bosses, CEOs, whatever, the system will be working in your favor during this Saturn and Pisces season.